Yeonshin also has a dumbfounded look on his face for the revelation that Ma Jin, his squad captain, turned out to be his uncle. With that in mind, Yeonshin apologizes for the reason that he is not very sure of the clan relations on his mother's side. He also adds that even those in his father's clan, which has been destroyed, have pretty much given up on him. This brings another surprise to the room, the revealing fact that the Jung Manor is destroyed. Seeing how they look, Yeonshin now knows that they really didn't know the Jung Manor had fallen. Yeonjiak immediately feels pity for Yeonshin, so he asks the fortress master permission to talk to Yeonshin alone. She doesn't give any answer on the matter, and Yeonshin steps forward to state that his mother is not a member of his grandfather's clan, so he doesn't feel he belongs there. He adds, as a warrior of the desolate fortress, that he respects the old man's accomplishments here, but he is uncomfortable with having any other personal conversations. For the first time in this drama, the fortress master talks, expressing she likes Yeonshin's spirit. In that instant, the adopted grandson suddenly screamed and was unable to accept someone like Yeonshin as his grandfather's direct descendant. He continues to babble his mouth, saying how come could Yeonshin show such disrespect to the former divine sword squad captain. He has completely forgotten that he is in the presence of the desolate fortress master. So, Yeonshin simply states he has no need for his acknowledgement, claiming that he is the Radiant Demon Squad's lightning genius, not the desolate fortress's Ma clan. Yeonshin smirks as he utters these words, making the adopted grandson red in anger. With that, he asks for his grandfather's permission to have a duel with Yeonshin, as he wants to prove that Yeonshin is not worthy of being this old man's blood relative. In kind, Yeonshin reveals there is no need for him to agree to the fight. That being said, he adds if he requests an exchange for learning, Yeonshin will gladly accede to it, before Yeonshin emphasizes his stand that he has no need to prove his value to the Ma clan. This saddens the old man for what he said when Yeonshin was outside while angering his adopted son. Looking at the iron gauntlet on his waist, Yeonshin realizes this kid learned the fist of palm strikes of the Ma clan. The fortress master then speaks, stating that Yeonjiak is an old-time friend who journeyed with her for a long time, and the lightning genius is a promising subordinate. She expresses any conflicts between the two of them would put her in a tough spot, so she prefers for it to be settled as martial artists and tells them to bet on what they want from each other. She then turns to Yeonshin. She knows this has no benefit to him. So, as a friend to Yeonjiak, no matter the outcome of the duel, she will grant Yeonshin one request. Yeonshin then replies cryptically as she knows he wants the fruit of the tree of life, so she explains that is not possible for now. She adds that it would be the same even if Yeonjiak was the one making that request because he has already received a different reward for his contribution as the Divine Sword Squad captain. With that in mind, she offers to teach Yeonshin one of her vital energy techniques. Her offers intrigue Yeonshin, while surprising the two martial masters present. The chance to learn from the fortress master, who's known to be the strongest in the world, will be a massive opportunity. Looking at the other kid, Yeonshin sees how excited he is to learn martial arts instead of following his grandfather's will if he wins. Yeonshin is unwilling to accept the offer to duel the kid because he doesn't like the fact that his mother's clan would take in such a person to be the successor. Before long, they gather in the arena exclusively for the fortress master to battle it out. The fortress master tells them that they have the whole place to themselves and they can do whatever they want. Yeonshin wears his usual aloof expression on his face, yet is calm and confident in battling his opponent while he is crackling his hand, getting ready for the fight, and wearing his iron gauntlet. Looking at his grandfather and uncle, Yeonshin thinks the Radiant Demon Squad alone is good enough for him right now, so he doesn't need the Ma clan. Yeonshin then takes a deep breath to see what this opponent can bring benefits to him. With that in mind, Yeonshin raises his hand and twitches his finger, provoking the kid to bring it on. And this, of course, angers the kid some more. The kid then dashed forward, with his hand ready to punch the hell of Yeonshin. On the receiving end of the attack, Yeonshin simply pushes the punch away to cleanly dodge the strike. Looking at him, Yeonshin guessed this kid has consumed really good elixirs, seeing as he possesses way more energy than Yeonshin does. Preparing to counter the next attack, Yeonshin performs his limit-releasing technique into his palm. One after another, the kid launches a barrage of punches toward his opponent. But Yeonshin simply takes a half step aside or deflects the punches away to neutralize the kid's attack. One attacks as if he punches air, while the other makes him feel like punching a solid stone wall. This makes this kid wonder and ask why Yeonshin isn't unsheathing his sword. Provoking the kid, Yeonshin simply states that is because the kid's fist strike techniques are pretty good. As anger boils down in his mind, the kid musters up more core energy into his body. Releasing all of the power he previously held back, the kid charges once more toward his opponent. This time, Yeonshin decides to meet this attack head-on. Even with less energy compared to the kid, Yeonshin is completely able to neutralize the first technique, only to get pushed back a little. Yeonshin gets to show off his movement technique by simply floating and landing like a leaf, akin to those from the noble races. The kid is dumbstruck to see his fist technique does not even make his opponent break a sweat. Yeonjiak watches in awe. His grandson that he originally thought to be useless turns out to be one this capable. On the other hand, both Majin and the Fortress Master watch as they already expected Yeonshin to be this skilled. True to his warrior name, Yeonshin sighed a breath of relief as he expresses how he just thought of a strong fist strike technique. He then waves his hand to gather his core energy as he states by the count of 10, this fight will come to an end. Yeonjiak knows that Yeonshin is talented, but to end the fight in 10 moves is still too far-fetched. Majin clarified what Yeonshin said, that he didn't mean that it would end in 10 moves. Because Majin knows how talented Yeonshin is, he knows he will create a new martial art and will end the fight in 10 seconds. While the Fortress Master is smiling contently in anticipation of what Yeonshin is capable of. On the other hand, the kid somehow calms down a bit as he says that in those 10 moves, he will give it his all. He gathers his core energy into his arm as he radiates yellowish energy throughout his body. Yeonshin thought that it was good. Instead of getting all riled up by what he said, the kid calmed himself down. Additionally, from the waves of core energy that he is feeling, he can see that the kid was not taught in a slipshod manner by his grandfather, who was a purple robe and someone respected by the world. But Yeonshin knows this kid's technique well, as he suggests he use a palm strike instead of a fist strike if he wishes, before he states that he doesn't need his advice in return and tells the kid to just do his best. These words of a construct are angering the kid, as Yeonshin adds that the kid will be able to show him plenty of things in return anyway. Putting all of his physical power in his step, the kid charges forward with every bit of core energy in his fist. Decides to meet the strike with his newly created fist strike. Yeonshin takes his hand back and performs an energy accumulation discharge. Their fist strike evenly collide, and the kid is surprised to feel the strength Yeonshin is able to put out even though he has more energy in his core. But Yeonshin doesn't stop there, as he uses a rotational step to charge back toward the kid. With a single glance, Majin knows Yeonshin accumulated more energy rather than losing what he had. With it, Yeonshin performed accumulated energy in his second strike, as the kid can only defend, having not enough time to prepare his fist strike. This strike, of course, breaks the kid's attempt to defend, as a little smile appears on Yeonshin's face, feeling pleased with his new fist technique. This surprised Majin further, because Yeonshin got the inspiration for this second fist strike from the fusion fist strike. The kid knows Yeonshin is getting stronger with his attack only after when he receives it. He then looks at his grandfather, in fear of the possibility of disappointing him. In the end, the kid grits his teeth as he gathers his energy into his arm once more. Looking at it, Yeonshin praises the kid and says how good he is before he asks the kid to show more. This irritates the kid further, as he decides to use a palm strike to attack. Meeting the attack, Yeonshin uses his accumulated energy for his third strike, completely destroys the kid's palm technique, and pushes him away. As if it is not enough, he uses the palm strike he saw just a fraction of a second ago into fourth form. A little naughty smirk appears on Yeonshin's face, going to use the kid's own technique against him. He is unable to believe that he is going to lose to a country bumpkin as Yeonshin performs his fourth strike. This surprised Yeonjiak with how the fight really ended within 10 seconds. The kid is coughing and unable to move after his chest takes that strike head on. Yeonshin is looking at him with indifferent eyes, as it is a fact now that he sees it for himself. The lightning genius has real skills and talents to back his words. Akin to someone with a 300 IQ, Yeonshin created, deciphered, and performed a martial art within 10 seconds they were fighting. Majin feels amazed to see a fist art that gets stronger the longer a fight lasts. While the old man is in disbelief that his supposedly useless grandson really created a new martial art in such a short time. Yeonshin is trying to normalize his breathing as he feels proud of himself after he created a martial art that can be called a famed ultimate technique. Right after, the fortress master praises Yeonshin for the good fight. She also feels pleased to see someone creating a martial art. Yeonshin humbly expresses that he is embarrassed and hopes he didn't waste her time. With that, she then asks what Yeonshin will name his new technique. Yeonshin decides to name it the Infinite Blossom Fist Strike. What a perfect name, she thought, for a fist strike technique that blooms endlessly. It is then Majin turns. He congratulates Yeonshin for his great work, as he states that he has created an incredible martial art. Somehow, Yeonshin still feels a little unhappy about it, as he has only managed to work out its framework. He adds he is not satisfied with the moves in it. Additionally, when he uses palm strikes, he relies completely on the Radiant Demon Arts. Even with that much, there won't be many white robes who can take on that attack of his, Majin explains. He is always trying to not be surprised, but he can't help it when Yeonshin is growing stronger at such a rapid pace. But Yeonshin knows well, for him, it is not fast enough yet. This confuses the others, while only the fortress master knows what he really means by that. Yeonjin then speaks to him. He wants to know what he must do to gain Yeonshin's forgiveness. This surprises Majin along with the kid, for such an influential person to bow his head down to a kid and ask for forgiveness. Time and time again, this old man is thinking about his clan first before anything else.